Good afternoon. I'm here to give a brief synopsis of what the census and why we are taking the census. We'll be taking the census next year in 2020. And I just have a few facts of what you should know about the census. The census figures mean money and power. There are 435 seats in the House of Representatives, and Georgia gained 2 seats last year, and they're hoping to just retain those 2 seats. Plus, we already had 3, so it's 5 seats that they have, and we don't want to lose any seats, but we would like to gain seats. That means money and power. The money will be divided. It's $675 billion for federal funding. Will flow back into the community, the local governments. That is for all the communities each year, based on census data. Every person that we miss, that's $2,300 per year, not just for the 1 year, it's for the whole 10 years, because we won't take a new census for another 10 years. Last census in 2010, McIntosh County was 41%. The national average is 72%. And Georgia's average was 70%. So you see 41% is we're not even making the mark. We have to do better. And I'm here to ask for your help in getting the word out and spreading the word that the census is safe and is very confidential. The census the data is only used for statistic purposes. And I have a form, I'll pass it out to some of you, and it's in your packages, of all the different ways the census is used. It's used for infrastructure, it's used for business development. It's a whole list of reasons why that we need to answer the census. In 2000, you did have a 49% mail back. This time, the census is going to be mostly done online. But there are 3 ways you can do it. It's primarily going to be done online. You'll be sent a postcard in the mail by the end of March the 15th, stating how you are to respond to the census. You can do it online, you can do it with your phone, or you could call in. There'll be a number that you can call in to request a form. If you request a form, they'll send it out to you, you mail it back like we have been doing before. Or you can call and give your information over the phone. All the answers to this, about 6 questions, and in the questions, they don't ask for Social Security, they don't ask for bank accounts, they don't ask for PIN numbers. The questions that they will be asking, we could really go online and pull it up on you. So if you respond, for every household will be challenged to respond to the census. And it's up to you, city officials, community members, to make sure that everybody knows to send back that form. Because if you don't send it back, we won't have enumerators coming to the house like they did before. They will at the end of May. If you haven't sent back your form, we haven't heard from you via text, via responding online, that someone will come to your house, but only 2 times will they come out to try to get you to respond. So it will behoove you to just go ahead and send it back. Go ahead and answer the questions. It will be 6 questions, and all your data will be protected. We don't share the information with other government agencies. And all this, we don't ask for Social Security numbers, or we don't ask for money donations. We don't ask for on behalf of any other political party. It's just how many people live in your household, their ages, and just basic information, male, female. I also have a chart here talking about the dates and the operations that are going on. You may see some census workers in the field right now, but they're doing address canvassing. They are making sure that we have have compiled an address listing of every household that could have an occupancy in it. Some houses are condemned, and those addresses will be taken off the list, or new constructions, those addresses will be added. And we're in that stage now, address canvassing. We have lots of jobs. This area, we needed to recruit 116 workers, and the jobs will be temporary. They'll be from about 8 months, starting in October. The pay is from $16 up to $22. It all depends on your experience, and it doesn't matter. Even if you are on fixed income, there is a voucher that you can waive. You can work as many hours as you can. We're just that in desperate need of workers to help us to get a complete count. The census goal is in 2020, is to count everybody once and only once and in the right place. Any questions?
Does the county has a primary point of contact?
Your county?
Counties in general?
Yes, every county has a person of contact. I'm not that person as Mr. Tillman. He's on vacation. I got to call at the last minute this morning. I was sharing with him. I was in Pulaski County earlier today. We're just trying to get the word out, and the census has hired partnership specialists to be the liaison between the counties and the Census Bureau. And they will be speaking more with you about forming complete cover committees. These committees will be committees that help us get the low response rates. Because some county, you can, also on the list, on this county list, it has a website. You can go on there, you can break it down to actual blocks and see what the response rate. Most of the time the low response rates are children under 5. We have an operation coming up for homeless, group counts, group housing, like prisons. We have operations in place to count those people, but it's mostly low income renters. Those are the ones who don't tend not to mail back their responses. And it's up to us, you guys, all of us, to get the word out that we need them to be counted also, because they use the services, public services, and the census data is based on how much money you get to supply those.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Dixon? Ms. Dixon, thank you for being here. We'll continue to help get the word out and spread the word.
And spread the word, and if you have a website that you could possibly, put our job into,
you can get that to the clerk.
Okay.
See if we can get some information about the census on there. Thank you.
Okay.
Moving right along, there are no public hearings, there's no old business, so we'll move right into new business. The first item is consider a contract with the Coastal Regional Commission for GIS services. Would the manager please speak on this?
Yes, sir. This contract for geospatial services for the county the last several years. We've referred to it as a GIS contract. And this year the contract includes more than just GIS. In your packet on attachment A, it lists the services that the CRC will provide for us, such as address maintenance for the 911 system, road center line mileage for our LME grant, floodplain management GIS maintenance, emergency operations center support, parcel maintenance, which is where we do our parcel splits and all that from the tax assessor's office, along with several other services. The ultimate goal for this project is to have a central site on our website where staff, commissioners, citizens can go and look at these different maps, such as zoning maps, parcel maps, flood maps. All that will be on this one central location. And this is a 5-year agreement that can be amended at any time. It is required to be reviewed at least once every 3 years. And the first year contract amount is for $18,000 a year.
Okay. We had a good bit of discussion on this last night in the workshop, and just we'll note that this is something that CRC is currently doing for us. There's just some added
That is correct.
responsibilities on the CRC's part this go around.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Does any commissioners have any questions or comments on this, or for staff or anything? Okay, would someone like to offer a motion concerning this contract?
I make a motion we approve the contract with CRC for the GIS services.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Watson. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner McClellan. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, number 2 under new business, we consider resolution 2019-7, adopting McIntosh County landfill fees. Would the manager please speak on this as well?
Yes, sir. The only change since the last time we adopted this resolution is the city of Darien, C&D tipping fees. As part of our T-SPOS negotiations, we've taken their fee from $5 a ton down to $2 a ton. And the only other difference in this resolution is the last one didn't include MSW material for commercial accounts within the county. That has been added to the resolution.
So just further expand upon that, all fees are remaining the same except, with the exception of the city, their fees going from $5 to $2 per ton, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions or comments on this agreement, this resolution? If someone offer a motion?
I make a motion that we accept resolution 2019-7 to adopt the landfill fees.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner McClellan, is there a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Carwack. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Number 3, consider amendments to the McIntosh County zoning ordinance. There was discussion about postponing this to a later date. Do you want to speak on that, or?
Yes, sir. Just postponement's fine. We did have 55 changes in our first round. After the public hearing at the Planning and Zoning Board, only 26 of those are recommended to come to the board. With that being said, we would like to back up and punt and possibly enter into a consulting contract with someone to help us rewrite our zoning ordinance and have some kind of committee like we did for our comprehensive plan, where we can get input from the planning and zoning board, staff, a couple commissioners, and then possibly some people from the public.
You're going to postpone this until next session, or just indefinitely?
Just a further date.
Just a further date.
Okay.
Someone offer a motion to postpone this to a further date? You got a question?
So, can we say that we're going to, we assign a timeline of how quick we're going to work towards a contractual agreement with an entity for?
I'll get on it immediately. Hopefully, we can have something for y'all next month.
Okay. So we're just going to do it a month, postpone it a month, or are we saying?
We would postpone an amendment for a month, but then at the meeting, we would adopt a contract to redo the whole zoning ordinance.
Okay.
Someone offer a motion to postpone this item number 3.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Motion by Commissioner Carwack, is there a second?
One second.
Second by Commissioner Bell. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Number 4, consider capital lease for a Caterpillar D620 LGP Bulldozer. This is an action item. We discussed this in detail last night. Does manager have anything to add tonight?
Yes, sir. Our current dozer is in need of extensive repairs. We're still 3 to 4 weeks out on those repairs being complete. Right now, we are renting a D8 dozer from Caterpillar, and that costs us $25,000 per month. We do have a need for 2 dozers at landfill once we get ours back. That would alleviate us having to rent one if one went down. Or if the road department needed to borrow one, we'd have one still inside at landfill to do its daily duties. This lease in front of you is for 5 years. It's a capital lease, so at the end of those 5 years, we can either keep the equipment or we can turn it back in. If we decide to turn it back in, we do get a trade-in value. We get fair market value for the dozer and can put it towards our next capital lease on a piece of equipment. Another good thing about the capital buyback program is CAD is responsible for the routine maintenance on the equipment, so they would be taking care of that. And this is a 60-month lease with a payment of $8,355.65 per month.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments on this lease agreement for the dozer?
Are we comfortable with this $83.55 per month regarding our current budget
Yes, sir.
and anticipated for the next?
Yes, sir. It would come out of the landfill account, and they're in the black right now.
Okay.
Do we have any other equipment that's on lease? Is this?
We currently have a compactor on lease at the landfill. And possibly the side-on mower at the road department. It's getting pretty close to the end if it hasn't already come to the end.
Any further discussion on this lease? Someone offer a motion.
I'll make a motion, we, go ahead and approve this capital lease for this Caterpillar DC D6-20 LGP Bulldozer. Whatever that is.
Have a motion to approve by Commissioner Watson. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner McClellan. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Number 5, consider commercial lease agreement for office space at 601 Northway. Again, this is an action item. Will the manager please bring us up to date on this lease?
Yes, sir. We're at the end of our 3-year lease for the tax assessor and county extension office. It expires at the end of this month. The lease in your packet is for a 1-year extension on that lease. It's the same terms as our previous lease. The only difference is the cost is going up from $3,000 a month to $3,400 a month.
Okay. Again, this was another item that was discussed in detail last night. Is there any further discussion tonight? And hearing none, someone offer a motion on this lease agreement for office space.
Make the motion that we accept the commercial lease agreement for office space as indicated.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Watson. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Callback. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to number 6, under new business, we consider resolution 2019-8, approval of a court collections contract. Manager, speak on this contract.
Yes, sir. This resolution authorizes a 30% add-on collection fee for delinquent accounts and the contract for collection with the law firm of Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Moat LLP. The contract has been approved by the clerk of court, and now it's coming before y'all to be formalized. It is something that we are already participating in, and the past clerks have also participated in this agreement also.
And not only are we already participating in this, it is with this firm, correct?
That is correct.
Anybody have any questions on this contract or for the staff on this? Okay, hearing none, someone can offer a motion.
I make a motion that we accept resolution 2019-8 for approval of court collections with the Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott LLP.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Carwackey. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Watson. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, last item under new business, we consider an appeal by Tony Thaw on the approval of provisions for certificate of appropriateness made by the McIntosh County Historic Preservation Commission at the August 8th, 2019 meeting. This is an action item. Mr. Thaw and his attorney, Mr. McQuigg, was here last night, and we had a long discussion about this. So it's up for action tonight. Is there any further discussion or any further questions for staff or Mr. McQuigg or Mr. Thaw at this time? Okay, hearing none, will someone like to offer a motion on this appeal?
I'd like to make the motion that we approve the plans in the Tony Thaw in relationship to the McIntosh County Historic Preservation Commission meeting.
So your motion is to approve his appeal?
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Lawson to approve. Is there a second?
I second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Carwackey. Any further discussion?
I'd like to make a comment in reference to it.
Yes, sir.
Attorney Hopple indicated in the meeting yesterday that the current plans, and I do want to go on record indicating that the current plans, I heard the attorney's comments, but the current plans does lie outside the current ordinances. However, I believe, as Hopple said, that these plans are more in line with the direction that we want to go. My approval of this, my vote to approve this is by no means an indicator that I approve of all future plans that come before the commission that lines outside the ordinance. It is my desire that we as a body look at, as we've already indicated, look at the guidelines that we're currently using and update them. And once that is done, that we strongly consider not approving those that are outside a new set of guidelines.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Watson. Any further discussion on that or comments? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, that's the last item under new business, so we'll move right into Commissioner reports. We'll go in reverse order. We'll start with Commissioner Watson.
I have no report this session.
No report. Commissioner McClellan.
The only thing I wanted to say tonight is that we get a lot of questions, or I do, I don't know about anyone else, but about our meetings and about some of the decisions that we make, and I've encouraged people to come to our work session. I think because tonight's meeting, on the Tuesday night meeting, I think people don't get to hear some of the discussion that takes place. So I just wanted to mention that while we're on camera, so that people know if they want to hear what we discuss about a topic. There's a lot of things that happen before we make decisions, and if you'd like to see that, you need to attend the workshop on Monday nights. So.
Commissioner Watson.
Yes, a couple of things. In the zoning that we're going to be looking at, there are a number of changes to the RV parks as well as mobile home parks and the noise within my district. So I strongly encourage those who own these type of locations to look at the proposed changes so that you're not shocked later. So whatever changes, please look at them. If you have questions and you're in my district, please consult with me so I'll know your desires as we move forward looking at these. I look at the census report and I quickly glean through. I'm a type of person that don't like to be last, don't like to lose. This county, there's only 3 counties worse than McIntosh County. So I encourage the citizens, religious leaders, community activists to get involved. We cannot be at the bottom because if you're at the bottom, everybody ignores you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Commissioner Carway.
So to maybe echo the census, I did attend one of the census sessions in Statesboro earlier this year. We do need greater countywide participation. There is a recruitment event, one that's happening on the 14th and one that's happening on Saturday the 21st at the Ida Hilton Public Library. Those events are going to run from 10 until 2. That is a recruitment event for workers and people in the field to help get the census information out to everyone. So that is an opportunity for locals if they're interested. And then I just wanted to highlight that Rebecca Fenwick is going to have the McIntosh County Historic Resource Survey on display Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock at the McIntosh Senior Citizen Building in Alonia. And then also Thursday afternoon at 5:30, the Chamber is hosting the monthly business after hours, and that will be at the Fish Dock in Belleville this month. So another 2 great opportunities to see 2 different things that McIntosh County has to showcase for itself.
Thank you, Commissioner Carway. So we're moving to the chairman's report. My report will be brief tonight. It is encouraging to see a little bit more larger than normal crowd. I'm glad to see the public's interest in showing up to see what's going on. It seems like today, with all the social media and stuff that's out there, it's really easy for misinformation to get on the street. This is the best way to find out what's going on, is come, listen, observe, and see your government at work. So those of you who are here, thank you for being here. We look forward to hopefully seeing you on future meetings. And that will conclude the chairman's report. We'll move into the manager's report.
Yes, sir. I want to update y'all a little bit on our Grady EMS transition. Our contract called for it to start on August 15th. That's not going to happen. We are holding weekly conference calls with Grady, so we can get that contract started as soon as possible. The full-time staff is fully staffed at this time. We are still waiting for 3 to 5 part-timers to come on board. Right now, every current employee of McIntosh County that has applied has been offered a job. Employee orientation is set to start on September 30th for those employees, and Grady is giving us a projected live date of October 7th. I was going to talk about the Historic Resources Survey presentation, but Ms. Carwacki hit on that. Our annual budget retreat will be held this Friday, August 16th. We will begin at 8:30 in the morning, and it'll be the same facility as our planning retreat. The 2019 Tax Digest is The real and personal property tax digest grew approximately 0.38%. This year, requiring the county to either roll back or advertise for a tax increase, which is required by state law. The millage rate will remain the same as it was last year at 9.891 mills, and it has been that for 7 years now. The tax digest has declined 4 out of the last 7 years, and we still haven't got back to where we were in 2012 as far as our tax digest values. Overall, the tax digest grew 2.07%. That takes into account the real and personal property values, the motor vehicles, mobile homes, and timber taxes. So if a taxpayer's property value did not increase, or they have the floating homestead exemption, their taxes will remain the same as they were last year. With that being said, our public hearings to meet state law are scheduled for September 15th at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on the same day. And then September 26th at 10 a.m. followed by a called meeting to adopt the millage rate. And all of these public hearings will be held at McIntosh County Courthouse.
County Manager, didn't you mean August?
Yes.
August, sorry. That is correct.
All right. Just backing up a little bit in your report to the grading transition, is the primary reason for that delay is staffing?
Yes, sir.
Personnel?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
All right, does that conclude your report?
Yes, sir.
County Attorney report?
No report, and I'm happy to report no need for an executive session.
Okay, with that being said, we will be adjourned.
28 minutes. All right. I get paid the same no matter how long I'm here. So.
It all pays the same, right?
It all pays the same. 30 minutes or 30 hours.
Okay.
You love those executive sessions, don't you?
Oh, man. You really get it.